Thanks so much for joining us. This breaking news all unfolding today. We know at least 10 people dead, 30 hurt in what police are calling a terror attack in New Orleans. All of this happening just hours before the University of Georgia was set to play in the Sugar Bowl. Thanks for being here. I'm Jonathan Martin.
And I'm Angelina Salcido. As we start off this 4 o'clock hour tonight, we've confirmed with Georgia State University that the suspect in that terror attack is a 2017 GSU graduate. Police say at least 10 people were killed when a man plowed into crowds on Bourbon Street early on New Year's Day, just streets away from where the Georgia Bulldogs were set to play in the Sugar Bowl, which is now postponed until tomorrow. Now, just in the last 15 minutes, we received this photo of the suspected driver, Samsudin Jabbar. Police say he died in a shootout with police. The FBI is investigating this as an act of terrorism and looking into whether other people may have been involved. Now, the FBI says that an Islamic State group flag was found on the vehicle's trailer hitch, according to a Louisiana police intelligence bulletin obtained by the Associated Press. Investigators also found guns and pipe bombs, which were concealed within coolers. Leaders say due to the nature of this attack, the Sugar Bowl has to be postponed.
We have been in consultation with ESPN, with the college football playoff, with the Southeastern Conference, with the University of Georgia, with Notre Dame. All parties and all agree that it's in the best interest of everybody and public safety that we postpone the game for 24 hours.
And tonight we have live team coverage of this attack. So we're starting with 11 Alive anchor Jennifer Bellamy, who is there in New Orleans for us tonight in a residential area where right now, Jennifer, there is a large police presence.
Jonathan, there certainly is, and it has been this way for several hours. I'm going to step out so you can get a look at what we have been observing. We understand that the New Orleans Fire Department was dispatched to a home on the street. It's Mandeville Street in Mayville, and we're understanding that they were sent out here around 5:18 a.m. They distinguished a fire and then called the bomb squad. Other than that, we do not have much information, as what we've been told is that more details would have to come from the FBI. We have been told that members of the FBI, the ATF, the New Orleans Fire Department, and New Orleans Police Department are out here on the scene, but again, not much being shared officially. We have, though, had a chance to speak with neighbors who tell us that early this morning, when some were maybe returning or getting their day started, they smelled smoke, what they thought may have been the remnants of firecrackers, but that smell got stronger as the day went on, and they knew that that was not something that should be happening that way. Many of them telling us in the 8 o'clock hour thereabouts that they were asked to evacuate their homes, many leaving with their pets and just the clothes that they had on. There is a church that was nearby opening its doors to allow people to find a way to get out of the cool temperatures out here and give them a place to go. Here's what we heard from some neighbors.
Well, I came home at 5 and there were fire trucks everywhere, and they said it just was a fire. And you could smell smoke and everything. And then a couple hours later, they came and started banging on everybody's door and told us we had to evacuate because they think it has something to do with explosive materials.
What do you know about that home?
Well, that home is an Airbnb. I don't know if it's permitted because there's more than one from the same owner on that particular block. There's that one and there's one across the street about 2 houses down.
And that Airbnb is the cause for concern for many neighbors. They're telling us that they are heartbroken knowing that there is a potential connection between the Bourbon Street attack and their community. We're going to send things now to our Maria Martin. She is live from the University of Georgia Team Hotel, helping to cover that part of the story for us this evening. Maria?
Hey, Jennifer. Yes, for those of you that are familiar with New Orleans, I'm standing right now on Canal Street, and literally just behind me, about a couple blocks down, is the beginning of Bourbon Street, where the senseless tragedy occurred early this morning. And just to my left, we'll be able to see it in just a second, the Georgia Team Hotel, where the team is going to remain sheltered in place for the rest of the day. And even when I was talking to the sports information director bright and early this morning, asking him if all of their student athletes were okay and accounted for, they were going going through that process. He did confirm with me later on, the team, everybody is okay, but it is in the best interest of everyone inside that hotel to remain inside until they can learn some more details about the Sugar Bowl. And again, let me be very clear in that a football game is beyond not the most important element of what is going on here in New Orleans right now. However, it is one of the elements that we do have to discuss and what the plans are for moving that game. It takes a lot of energy and effort to move an entire football game to a different time, to a different day. And those conversations happened bright and early this morning. They've been continuing since they did announce that they would postpone the Sugar Bowl until tomorrow at 7:45 Central, 8:45 Eastern Atlanta time. However, both Georgia and Notre Dame have asked for the game to be earlier. That request has not been met yet. That is from our UGA insider. They're still pushing to move this game up, but as of right now, it's going to be 24 hours after the initial time. And there are a lot of ramifications for that game being moved. There's also a lot of ramifications when it comes to safety. They have been sweeping the Superdome since this morning, and the police superintendent for New Orleans talked about the measures that they're taking to make sure everybody is safe inside that building.
We've been doing the same thing on Poydras and all the accesses into the Superdome. Part of the safety plan is we have bomb dogs out there sweeping the Superdome and all the exterior area, and we're locking that down. That will be locked down through the game tomorrow. So that's a part of that safety plan, and we've already been implementing it.
They've been continuing sweeping that area, and they've been doing so around the French Quarter as well. And even here on Canal Street, the foot traffic, as you can tell behind me, has picked up quite a bit since this morning when I woke up and looked outside. There was no one walking the streets. Now a little bit more lively than it usually is here in New Orleans, but they will continue to make sure that the Sugar Bowl and the Superdome is going to be perfectly safe for this game whenever it should happen. Again, as of right now, 8:45 tomorrow night. Maria Martin, 11 Alive. Back to you.
All right, Maria, we're glad you, Jennifer, and all of our crew are safe there as well tonight. Thank you so much. President Joe Biden also releasing a statement on the attack, calling it an act of terrorism. He praised local law enforcement for their swift response. The president has directed federal, state, and local agencies to all work together and to ensure no further threat. He also offered condolences to the victims and their families, calling the violence unjustifiable and unacceptable.
Now, we know that people from our area, many Georgia fans, are there for the Sugar Bowl. We are also learning some more information about one of the victims that has ties to Georgia, as well as the suspect in this case. Our Grace King continues our coverage tonight at Georgia State University. Grace, what are you learning about the suspect's connection to GSU?
Well, in the last hour and a half, Georgia State University confirmed that the New Orleans terror attack suspect was a student here from 2015 to 2017. Now, they say that suspect then graduated with a Bachelor of Business Administration in Computer Information Sciences. Now, we're not sure when he left the state, but the FBI says his most recent address is in Texas. The University of Georgia president says one of their students is among those critically injured in the attack as well. Jerry Moorhead says he's spoken to the student's family and shared his concern, support, and well wishes on behalf of the entire UGA community. He says the university will do everything in its power to support those who have been impacted by this unspeakable event. Now, both the band and athletic department confirmed that everyone traveling with them to the Sugar Bowl is safe and accounted for, but we're still working to learn more about those killed and injured in this attack and whether any of them have any ties to Georgia. Like you mentioned, we'll be sure to share that information with you as we learn more. Live in downtown Atlanta, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
Grace.
A lot left for us to still learn. Grace, thank you so much.
Well, the tragic attack in New Orleans has local law enforcement agencies and the public as well on high alert as other high-profile events are taking place right here in the metro. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy live in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium where the Peach Bowl game is happening with a look at how police and fans are making sure that event is safe. Erica, you've been there most of the afternoon. What are you seeing out there today?
Well, Jonathan, what's very apparent is that there is a heavy police presence here around the bends for the Peach Bowl game today. Atlanta police say that following the tragedy in New Orleans, they have deployed some specialized units to both downtown and midtown and more personnel. As the big game between Texas and Arizona State got underway, police agencies tasked with securing the area around the bends stepped up their game by sending out more officers. The move comes in the wake of the deadly attack on New Year's Day on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. Thousands descended on downtown Atlanta to attend Peach Bowl inside the Bends, with hundreds more choosing to tailgate. One man that we spoke with says that the tragedy didn't keep him from coming out to the event, but does have him paying closer attention to what's happening around him.
I was on the ride here and I got news about it, and I was just like, wow, like, that's devastating. And for that many innocent people to be hurt and killed, like, people got to be more careful, man, and be more considerate about, people around them. But me personally, I'm always trying to be aware of my surroundings, trying not to drink too much or get too excited or get lost in the fun, you know what I'm saying? But it's scary to think that that's a possibility, and that can happen at any time, anywhere, any place. So, yeah, just got to keep your eyes open.
Now, we did also reach out to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. They said that APD is actually heading up the security around this event, but they are ready to assist if asked. Reporting from Northside Drive, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
All right, Erica, and as this story develops, we will bring you the newest information as soon as we get it. Also streaming right now on 11 Alive Plus, our sister station in New Orleans is continuing their coverage on the suspected terror attack. You can watch that right now. It is free to download 11 Alive Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire, or Apple TV.